welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me again, and if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Your support is much appreciated. If you find any benefits from this video, or if you scan back to maybe the beginning of the playlist and see something useful, please do feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Ding the bell so you get notifications. This is a weekly series that I'm building here. Individual pose breakdowns leading into short sequences of the poses that we've worked on previously. So it is a progressive sequence, beginning at the absolute beginners and then starting to advance through some of the yoga poses as we go. Designed for beginners or improvers. So if it's the first time you're doing yoga, this will really just dissect poses so you can get comfortable and then step into a class having an idea of what to do and where to go. And improvers maybe just, especially like hypermobile people, maybe just refining the practice so it's not all just bendy, floppy, bendy. You're bringing a bit of structure and form and functionality to your practice as well. So it's caters for both, hopefully. That's the plan. Anyway, today we are working with half moon pose. You might want to go back to Warrior 3. It's quite similar to Warrior 3 pose. And work on your balance with tree pose as well. There is a tree pose in the sequence. I'll see if I've got three. I can put a tree pose up there as well. So you can maybe play around with that if you're new to balance and stability. That gives you some ideas and concepts to play around with getting used to balance in the first place. Also the previous video, big toe to hand pose, we worked on a little bit of balance in that as well. So you're welcome to drop back to those first and then return to this, because this is a little bit more advanced balance than your standard tree pose. What do I normally see in half moon? Well, we normally kind of start off Warrior 3 when I teach it anyway. We normally transition from Warrior 3 into half moon. And the thing with most people in Warrior 3, their hips are already stacked off to the side anyway. But then it's that taking that hand down. And what I see is like the body tends to drop further and further down. So the legs, the chest is down towards the floor, and we kind of got this funny angular position. And the chest is also pointing diagonally down to the floor there. So we're kind of crunched and hunched over in this sort of position here. What we're after with our Warrior half moon is we may find that we need to bring a block. Maybe it's on its side. So we've got a nice T shape. So the chest moves down through that hip, down to that heel. Looking at the floor is much easier. I tend to see people diving straight for the sky. And we're trying to take the right arm, the top arm, directly above the bottom arm. Hips and chest facing the wall. So the toes of that floating foot are facing the same way as the chest. Shoulders gently pulling back towards each other. So we're going as neutral as we can, as flat as we can. Kind of like if you're dropping from Warrior 2 or from triangle, as flat as you can through the body, and then stepping up onto one leg, lifting up. Really challenging is looking up at the sky. I've got blinding lights above me and it really puts me off, so that's my excuse anyway. So if you find that your hand is lower and your torso is dropping down, bring a block. Even if you're up on a block like this, it's fine. Pull the hips back. Look at the floor if you're really unstable. Hand up to the sky. More challenging, so as you can see from this angle, the hand and the foot are offset. More challenging, hand and foot in line on the floor. Maybe, maybe not. Right hand comes to the heart. Really challenging, but good fun to play around with. And just let the body do its thing. You see there, my foot's wobbling, the ankle's going. Comes with stability and practice, obviously. Starting with your tree pose, etc. That builds comfort. Starting with your tree pose here. Again, look at the tree pose video. You know, this is working, stabilizing, getting used to the unfamiliarity of being on one foot, because that's all we need to do. Like by the end of it, you'll be standing there brushing your teeth, and some people, when I say it, they go, well, actually I do brush my teeth like that. You forget that you're doing it sometimes, and standing having a conversation like a flamingo, stuff like that. It's just, you can just work these things into day-to-day life. You don't have to be on a yoga mat doing it specifically. So yeah, half moon pose, a lot of people collapse into it. What we're after is that opening. As flat as we can through the mat. I'll just look at the floor for stability so I can demonstrate more clearly. Lifting up. Good. More stable, offset the hand from the foot. Gives you a little bit more balance. Okay, so it takes the pressure off being in alignment. It's more of a practice thing more than anything. Go back to your tree pose. Go back to your warrior three. Get comfortable with those two. And then start to transition. Again, with balance, it's all about the head and the eyes. So if you're in your tree pose, for example, maybe you're starting off looking down at the floor. Maybe over time you progress to looking straight ahead. Maybe over time, if I can get past that blinding light, you look straight up at the sky and you hold your balance. But when you're moving the head, do it slowly. So we're not jerking the head, it throws you off. If you're moving the head, do it slowly. And this is a transition from warrior three to half moon. Because warrior three will be here-ish, looking down at the floor. Half moon, we're transitioning to that sideways. Okay, it's that movement of the head. Stop trying to do that. Come back to center for your warrior three. So it's that movement of the head that can really throw the balance. Okay? So, something to be aware of. The gaze is focused but soft. So pick a spot where you can, stay with that spot. And if and when you need to move, you slowly move the head and the gaze off. There's nothing wrong with coming from warrior three, for example, and then going into half moon, but keeping the gaze down to the floor. Nothing wrong with that at all. Much less distracting for the brain. But as soon as you start to move the head, that's when you start going to, ooh, especially brain thoughts as well. Thoughts and focus, clear. It's a really good meditation. Balance is a really good meditation because you're not thinking about what you're doing, you're allowing it to just be. The more you think about that control, the more you're going to be all over the place. Okay? So that's one key thing to bear in mind. And I don't know why I'm stamping my foot like a horse. Thank you for your time. Much appreciated. Down your bed.